the best way for you to make me change my mind is to agree with me. That being said, this video might have a change of tone because I tell you, it's not a Liam Jacobs channel, but I might have been wrong about Liam Jacobs. I was honest about how I felt in the previous videos, and I'm honest now. I might have been wrong about Liam Jacobs.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of the On the podcast.
Am I allowed to swear there?
In Sweden.
Yeah, I know we said let's not blame the government.
It's just sad when we start them becoming indoctrinated. Your view on me.
Hi guys, welcome back to the honorary On the Contrary podcast with Emilio, Tobias. I'm your host. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for subscribing. This is the channel where we react to South African politics or politics as it relates to South Africa. It could be happening outside South Africa, but South Africa must be involved. Very soon I'm going to do a American version of this podcast where I'm reacting to purely American politics and happenings and what have you. But this podcast, on the contrary, I've been called a contrarian, which was one of the very nice things someone called me for being argumentative and confrontational and always having opposing views. That's the point of that channel. I needed a space where I can express views that might be contrary to the status quo or contrary to the zeitgeist. I don't know if I use that thing in the right way. But anyway, a lot of hateful stuff in the comments. Even teachers of 25 years are writing nonsense, showing us teachers are some of the most biased, what's the other word? Prejudiced people you can ever find. Because there's no one who is as stubborn who thinks they know everything like a teacher. Teachers are important. We need teachers. We need education. But we all know our teachers were single-minded, single-focused people and a lot of them lacked the ability to have dynamic conversations and engage with opposing views. I'm very, very taken aback. I understand the people who like Liam Jacobs, but I'm very taken aback for the people who fail to understand what I am saying and accuse me of being subjective, one-sided or biased, which is something I take very, very personally. I'm a contrarian by nature. My mind opens up to things that no one else sees. So the best way for you to make me change my mind is to agree with me. That being said, this video might have a change of tone because I tell you, it's not a Liam Jacobs channel, but I might have been wrong about Liam Jacobs. I was honest about how I felt in the previous videos, and I'm honest now. I might have been wrong about Liam Jacobs. Liam Jacobs finally, the minister has come through. Gayton McKenzie and Liam got to question Gayton McKenzie. Let's watch that video now and we go through it and see how he's done stuff differently or the same, or what did I miss before. Let's go through it. Keep an open mind. We're not taking sides. The point of holding people accountable in parliament, you're not supposed to take the side of the one who's accountable and the one who's accounting and whatever. We're there. It's a truth-finding, fact-finding mission. It's about finding the truth. It's not about making up wrong things when there's no wrong things. But okay, let's go. That's enough of an intro. Where do we start here? We start there. There we go.
Thank you very much, Chairperson. Chairperson, I would just like to direct, the following question to the Minister. And that question hinges on the fact that, we are following the Act and we are following the basic provisions of the Act. And this isn't just to test an understanding of the Act and what it encompasses, but it is also something very crucial to understand what could be a conflict of interest. Now, Chairperson, I just want to ask, on what basis and what was the rationale behind setting up the board, or rather the body that conducted the interviews for the National Arts Council appointments? And
I'll give him this off the bat, ladies and gentlemen. Can you pick up a difference in his tone, the manner in which he's speaking? He's still being critical. He's still pointing out suspicious or behavior, either suspicious behavior or behavior worth questioning and asking about. And you don't have to be smiling and whatever. But that opening question, and I don't know if this is the opening question because this is a clip, but that opening already is miles different from, okay, we're gonna do this interpolation style. I go back and forth. If I may put the answer, I'll move on. Okay, you. Much different. If this was Liam all along, I would have been Witchell the whole time.
For the shortlisted candidates.
The Minister.
Thank you, Honorable Liam Jacobs. That is what is required of us by the Act. So we are just following the Act to the letter. Thank you.
Chairperson, I asked on what basis was the interview panel constituted?
What are your videos made of? Go to artlist.io and get the best assets for your videos.
What informed?
The way Gayton answered the question is the same way what do you call that lady who was chewing, who said credibility is what it says on Google. If you Google it, or the encyclopedia. As you didn't answer, bro. Tell us, what did you, yes, you might have adhered to the Act, but tell us what you did that adhered to the Act. Don't tell us to refer to the Act. Tell us what you did. And we can figure out with the here, the and the other if we did adhere or didn't adhere. That was a non-answer.
What informed the rationale behind it, apart from just the Act, Chairperson?
Yeah,
what informed the rationale behind the fix?
He said based on the Act.
I don't need any other rationale other than the Act.
All right. Does the Minister know who Liesl Penniken is?
Very well.
How does the Minister know who Liesl Penniken is?
I've been following her music since I can remember.
Oh, Liesl Penniken is a member of Jamali.
Is it true that Liesl Penniken has performed at multiple Patriotic Alliance events?
She's performed at PA events, ANC events, I think even your party's events.
Is she an active member of the Patriotic Alliance?
She's a member. I wouldn't say she's an active member, but she's a member of the Patriotic Alliance.
So, Chairperson, that is why I put it to you, Chairperson, that I find it very interesting that the person who was the chairperson of the current board that we have is a member of the Patriotic Alliance. And that is why I want to ask, Minister, you said that the Act is what we are following, and we are following the Act to the T. Are you aware that subsection, or rather section 5.1b of the Act says, a member of the council shall not hold office in any political party or political organization?
I'm very aware of that.
5.1b of the Act says, a member of the council shall not hold office in any political party or political organization.
I'm very aware of that, and that's why she's not holding any office. What you was inferring is not correct. Liesl Penniken holds no office in the Patriotic Alliance.
Question was...
So, Jacob is saying, yo, there's this person in your party who's now been in charge of appointing a board, I think. She's not on the board. She was in charge of appointing the board. This person is a known associate of your party. There was... and the dope thing that Liam is doing, whether or not there was wrongdoing involved, the question should still be asked. And I feel like Gayton's response is as if it shouldn't be asked, nothing was done wrong. You must know that in government, you are also encouraged to not do things that may appear to raise alarms or may appear at first glance, is to avoid those types of things. Then of course it's like, go ahead, you're not supposed to deny anyone opportunities just because they're in your political party, but also you're not supposed to give them opportunities because they are in your political party. These are all fair, reasonable questions to ask by Liam Jacobs, but Gayton is not taking it that way. And I feel like Gayton came into this meeting waiting for Liam to be disrespectful. And I think Gayton is looking bad because Liam is not being rude or disrespectful this time. So he came in with Liam's energy, not realizing, hey, there's a chance that Liam might come proper.
Well, not in relation to Liesl Pennican. This question is if you understand that that's a provision within the Act.
I don't understand what you're saying now because we speak about Liesl Pennican. So when did we jump to somebody else, Honorable?
I was satisfied with what was mentioned about Liesl Pennican and her allegiance to the Patriotic Alliance and her position as a chairperson of the panel that conducted interviews. I'm asking you now, separately, do you understand the provision made in 5.1b?
The minister, Honorable Jacob, has responded, and it also implied that she has a position, and the minister has made it clear that she has no position. I am happy with the response.
I'm also saying so.
No.
We must also... The chairperson is annoying me because we are all following. We're using different words to mean different things here and there, but we are finding each other, we're understanding each other, and we're understanding Liam. Even when he says, what did he say? There's one word he used out of place, but we're not here to nitpick one word. But the chairperson also, I think he just wanted to be on TV.
No, but chairperson or the chairperson, I think I have a problem with the manner you are running this meeting today. This is done deliberately. It is under cross-examination where you deliberately play around with the words so that the person, because the minister has been contradicting himself quite often today.
Precisely,
but
Shepherd.
You are not allowing the speaker, the person who's asking questions, to question. And this has been happening even with the higher education minister. She ended up conceding because of such questioning from your own people from PA. They were questioning the minister like that. But today you are not allowing us to do that. Sorry, Chair.
One thing. I think Eugene Mtetwa thinks the chairperson is in PA. Yeah. Because he didn't have to come in and Liam was within his... There was no disorder. The chairperson didn't need to come in. William was getting ready to explain and clarify what it meant. Not allowing Gayton to dodge or what appears to be dodging. Now, the thing that Liam was doing in previous interactions when he was being rude, that when he was being rude and not knowing where he's going, it was allowing people to dodge. Now the chairperson is allowing the dodging tactics. And I'm not implying that Gayton or PA has done anything wrong with those appointments, but it does appear to be delaying tactics. And I think we must realize how much more effective Liam is being without the interruption of the chairperson. The chairperson is killing its vibe now. He's being so much more effective and pointed when it's not about trying to embarrass, trying to be rude, trying to show we hold you. Liam, well done, big man.
Edward, you raised a point of order. I allowed you, and now you are making comparisons with other portfolio committee and mention your members, DA members. Not once in this particular meetings that I have indicate or introduced myself from the party I come from. I am happy with the question. We are running out of time. The question has been asked about a certain individual who are part and parcel of the Patriotic Alliance. The minister has responded. A follow-up question has been asked of a clause stating that you must not hold office. And the minister responded that she's not having or holding office. That's why I intervened for the sake of time. But proceed, Honorable Liam Jacobs.
Thank you, Chairperson. I want to then ask what informed Liesl Pennekin becoming the chairperson of the interview panel?
Well, first,
What if I told you you can make passive income selling t-shirts online that only take minutes to create? All you have to do is open up Kid.
firstly,
Fair question.
nothing precludes her from becoming a part of the panel. Let's start there. Secondly, we have explained previously that we followed the act to the letter. So nowhere in the act does it say a Liesl Pennekin cannot form part of the process. So we have followed the act, and if you can point out to me where in the act that it states she cannot be part of a thing, then I would be able to answer. But whatever feeling you might harbor against Liesl Pennekin or I might harbor has no bearing on her appointment or the law or the act. Let's follow the act, because we clearly come from different viewpoints.
Chairperson, there seems to be a deficit in the understanding of how what could be considered following an act to the T and then saying that you have done things properly could preclude the fact that there might be a moral and ethical deficit within appointments made in certain aspects. And that is why, Chairperson, I want to ask, is Eugene Botha still a top 10 member of the Patriotic Alliance, and does he hold any office within the Patriotic Alliance?
Let me first please answer this question, these two questions that you just raised in this one sentence. You are unable to tell me the act that precludes Liesl Pennekin from sitting on the panel. In the absence of you not telling me what act we have breached, your feelings and my feelings doesn't matter here. Secondly, office bearers of a political party is the top 6. Eugene is not an office bearer of the Patriotic Alliance. There was an old Linked thing where he was there for 2 days when we wanted to remove the Secretary General and we reinstated her in our party. He is currently, and during his term, in a political office in law, has been defined in law through precedent and court cases. And he is not a political office bearer of the Patriotic Alliance. If the chairperson allows me, I can give you the top 6 of the Patriotic Alliance.
Chairperson, if
Interesting. As much as Gayton is answering, we got to answer. Technically speaking, these guys are not, what do you call this thing? Office bearers and whatever. But also, Gayton McKenzie must not act like the question is not supposed to be asked. Whether they did things perfectly or not, the question must be asked, because it can appear, someone who's not on your side, someone who's not this, that, that, it can appear that there may have been strings pulled, while still on the face of it, the act is being adhered to. Now, don't jump from what I'm saying. I'm not saying it is like that. I'm saying it can appear to be like that. And that's why there must be an account. Like, yo, bro, just clarify this thing. The Minister Mantashe's son is here. Minister Mantashe's son has been appointed to do something. You understand how that can look very bad from the outside in. So just to clear those things up, let's talk about it. Then that other lady went and fired the guy and started the process over. But then it's like, why did you fire him if the process was good? Because he should be able to still be, no matter whose child he is, he should be able to get the job that he got if everything was all good and well. So that's the story. So Gayton did answer, I'll give him that, but he's also acting like the question must not be asked. And Liam Jacobs, 9 out of 10, good man.
If I may come in here, Chairperson, I would like to actually then say that if you want to tackle this on a legal basis, right, this is where the Act is currently contradicting with what has previously been fought in the court of law. previously in the court of law of our country, you'll find that it has said that individuals who hold political offices are allowed to work within state entities such as municipalities and provincial governments and national government departments. That is said, right? And the notion of political office bearer refers to anybody who is elected. Now, I understand that that notion is foreign to your party, as your party obviously functions in an appointment-based system. But in the event and the absence of there being elections, naturally appointments would then fill that void, right? Therefore, even if he is a branch chairperson or he's a constituency leader or if he's something like that, he becomes a political office bearer.
He's none of
Good and fair point. And not even as a slash to PA, those I would consider office bearers, because previously, if you were now elected, there's elections for branches, there's elections for regional secretaries, there's elections for top 6, NEC, all those things. But because they don't have elections, it's all appointments by, I guess, the top 6 or Gayton and Kenny Kunene's prerogative. So clarity, doubling down, covering all angles of a thing to make sure that we have all the answers, that there's no other questions afterwards. Guys, Liam, you're thinking I'm switching because of the comments. I'm just showing you that I have no personal vendetta against anyone. Liam killed this thing. This one, fire, bro.
the things you've just mentioned. He's not a branch chairperson. He's not, none of the things you've mentioned. And we cannot operate on assumptions and what if and what if. What is the law saying? Let's deal with each other on the act. A political office bearer is the top 6 of the party. He's not a political office bearer, number one. Number two, what are you trying to imply? I'm saying to you that he's not elected, he's not a branch chairperson, he's not a political office bearer. What do you want me to say in as far as Liesl Pennican and Eugene is concerned?
So, Chairperson, to the public, then I put it, that it is very interesting that the minister is of a particular party, that the leader of the individuals conducting the interviews is that same political party, and ultimately the chairperson of that board then becomes the same political party.
Hey, fellow filmmaker, I'm about to share something with you that's going to...
You know, Liam brings up a fair point. Really, it's a fair point. It is interesting and such a coincidence that it's PA. It doesn't mean that necessarily it was wrong. You find that these people are perfectly qualified. And you find that because ANC has been doing this for so long, now when ANC is no longer in power in a specific department, other people are starting to apply. Must remember, people, if you feel like at that job, the job is already for someone, you're not even going to start to apply. I think quite predictably, if there's a minister that seems to be speaking to colored people, if that minister is head of something, you'll find more colored people applying. This happens everywhere. We've done a video on employment equity and how employment numbers skew depending on who the hiring manager is. If it's a Xhosa person, it's going to be Xhosa people. If it's an Afrikaans person, it's going to be Afrikaans people. If it's an Indian person, it's going to be Indian people. It goes like that. So, yes, maybe now they're encouraged or know about things and have the ear to the ground because Gayton is in there. But at the same time, Gayton should be able to explain. This should be the answer, Mr. McKenzie, is that yes, I understand how it looks. And that's why I made sure that they were definitely qualified, and when the recommendations came back, those they were scrutinized by everyone, people even outside of my party, there are officials in the department, this and the other. These people are duly qualified for what they do as much as they are members of PA. And in fact, there was no one better or much better than them in this specific thing. Once again, Liam Jacobs, well done.
Must investigate certain party, and ultimately the chairperson of that board then becomes the same political party. There is certainly, chairperson, we must investigate certainly, chairperson, whether there is actual ethics that can be found in this, chairperson. Because in as much as there is a precedent for this, legally speaking, chairperson, we must investigate the potential of a conflict of interest here. Because we understand, chairperson, we must understand the framework that certain parties operate in.
You can't say there was no ethics. That is like an aspersion. That is accusatory without presence of evidence. But you are right in saying we must investigate whether there was a conflict of interest, surely.
Chairperson, when you operate in what is a dictatorial party, chairperson, then you are bound to that leader in that party. When the leader can fire you as he pleases, chairperson, when the leader has explicitly thrown his own members out of parliament, chairperson, then we must talk, chairperson. I'm still talking. I will not be point of order by honorable.
Hold on, you cannot describe how this meeting is going to be run. There's a chairperson in this meeting.
Yeah. The thing that makes it slightly better, he is now going now. He is ramping up to the Liam Jacobs we know. Rather that, so there's a reason for your response. I'm feeling a lot better about, it's political speech when you're calling someone a dictator and dictatorial, but he has a reasoning behind it, and it did come nicely, and Gayton is kind of dodging questions. Now this man here, Daniels, is now coming in to defend his president.
Meeting. If you want to be the chairperson,
chairperson, as I was proceeding.
Can we have order in this meeting? Can we have Honorable Liam Jacobs asking his question? I haven't heard a point of order from no one.
Chairperson, as I was proceeding.
Chairperson.
Is that a point of order, Honorable?
Yes, Chairperson, it's a point of order. Please don't allow Honorable Malone to just come in while the other Honorable is still on the platform.
I haven't done so, Honorable.
Thank you.
I haven't done so. I will give a member opportunity if there's a point of order. Honorable Liam Jacobs, please proceed.
I've raised the point of order, Chairperson. Why?
I haven't heard you, Honorable Daniels. Please raise it officially.
He did.
I can't hear you. Please unmute.
I am unmuted, Chairperson. I've even raised my hand on the platform.
No, I haven't heard you. Okay, let me deal with your point of order, Honorable Daniels.
Thank you, Chairperson. Chairperson, the point of order that I'm raising here is that the Honorable Jacobs is not sticking to what he's doing and to what he's asking, and I cannot prescribe how we must frame or work his questions. But to come and talk now about a party when we're addressing a minister and talking about the dictatorial party and dictatorialship and all that, that is out of order. Because to me now, it takes me back, Chairperson, it takes me back to the other time when I got both yourself and Honorable Liam at Galvindale swimming pool and you wanted to know who fixed the pool. Is it a PA?
Honorable Daniels, give me an opportunity. That is not a point of order. What the honorable member does, he is checks and balances to prevent biased decisions. And this interrogation and this way of questioning is a norm in the committee. So I'm going to ask Honorable Jacobs to proceed with his questions. Like I've said, there's a reason why members ask a particular question. The minister has responded. So Honorable Liam Jacobs, proceed.
Chairperson, I find it, I'm actually not surprised at the fact that the Honorable Daniels does not understand checks and balances within the democracy, Chairperson.
Honorable Jacobs, let's deal with the content of what is presented, the questions being asked. You have asked questions, it is within the range of what has been presented to us. I'm allowing you thus. Let us not engage one another. Let's engage with the content, what has been presented, and let's give an opportunity for the minister to respond and from both sides and all parties in a respectful manner.
There was a fair point of order to bring up because he was hitting bullets everywhere, but this nice progression of anger and rudeness is quite understandable. I understand why Liam was rude in this point. Similar to how my favorite member of parliament right now, Sihle Lonzi, has been ramped up to be able to speak in that manner.
Please proceed, Honorable Jacobs.
All right, thank you very much, Chairperson. I shall proceed. Chairperson, I'll come back to the rationale. In as much as the Act prescribes that the Minister can make those appointments, Chairperson, I want to understand his understanding as to why a member of the Patriotic Alliance became the Chairperson of the interview panel. That led, ultimately, to the Chairperson of the board being a member of the Patriotic Alliance as well, while he himself, as a Minister, is a member of the Patriotic Alliance. What is the rationale? He's not answering the question.
Fair point.
Chairperson, the honourable member says I'm not answering the question, but he's still busy asking the question. I am one person that's not in the habit of disturbing people while they speak.
It's nice. Liam is getting there. It's 80% there. Like he still does a thing where he's asking and says you're not answering and then asks another question so that you don't answer the question. But this is an 8 out of 10 for me.
Answer Honourable Liam nicely, but I want him to tell me just one thing so I have clarity. He said, I have thrown a member of the PA out of Parliament. Who's that member? So that when I answer on fact and not innuendos and gossip and lies.
But Minister, just a second. Just a second. Just a second, Minister. That is the point I've made. Let's deal with the presentation. That is my concern. And in terms of the interrogation from the member pertaining to the party and a potential biasness, but I want it to be happening, Minister.
No, but all I'm saying is my turn to respond.
Yes, please do.
But I have to be clear and fair on Honourable Jacobs. If you can say, he said here, before I come to what he said about the party I belong to, he said here that...
Okay, that's all for today. Do you see when these guys get strong? When you start losing your temper. Now, Gayton's got him. I think he realized he got him with something. Because he's been saying a bunch of things that are just like out of anger. But Liam married nicely. And I think this was a fair holding the minister to account, letting him answer, letting him clear the air on suspicions on what appears to look like in this, that, and the other. So, well done, Liam Jacobs. I may have been wrong about you. No, I was not wrong. I do not take back a single word I said in the other videos, and I was not being subjective. I was being very objective and unbiased. I really don't like the DA, but I give credit where credit is due. Anyway, guys, this is my time. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe, comment, do what you have to do. The battery is about to die, so if this is the last thing you hear.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of the On the podcast.
Am I allowed to swear there?
In swear, bro.
Yeah, I know we said let's not blame the government.
It's just sad when we start them becoming indoctrinated. Your view on me.